Well, folks, this is an operation because while I was at Buttermilk Falls, and I didn't mention it in the video, my recent video. I actually did mention it in the video, but I cut it out because I wanted to save it for a new video where I can show you guys what happened to my drone Mini 2, the back door, and also you can see a little crack around here. That part popped off as it crashed into a rock. And I'm hoping that, and there's some propeller damage to these props here. But that's it. That's all the damage. The inside looks good. The gimbal looks good. The only thing that I'm worried about, well, of course, other than the fact that I hope it flies okay, is getting this door back on, because it broke and there's little hinges attached. There's little bitty hinges. Here's one, and here's one here. And getting them attached somehow, other than gluing it, is not going to work, because I just know it won't hold. The glue will hold. I mean, it's Gorilla Snot glue, but, and the reason I've got it upside down there is, y'all know, because it drains. It's half full and it drains and keeps it towards the nozzle, easier to squeeze out. But anyway, I'm going to see what I can do with it. I just had mentioned in my last video too about not needing an upgrade right now, and I said I was going to take it out before I flew it again and do a test flight, but I never did do that. So we're going to do a little operation here. That part right here actually snapped back into place, and I'm hoping with a little teeny tiny bit of sanding and maybe some Gorilla Glue right in there, just a little bitty bead of Gorilla Glue around there will be all that needs. But again, like I mentioned, the main concern is the battery door, and getting it to where it's snug again. I may just have to end up taping it down every time I fly it, if it flies. I mean, if everything goes okay. And what happened was, when I took it out at Buttermilk Falls, and took it out once, and it flew fine. So at least I thought it did. It was a little sluggish for some reason, but I thought maybe it was the adjustments I made in the Fly app with the new update. But I shut it down, and then I walked up closer to the falls, and I wanted to fly it again, and that's when the accident. It went up, and again it seemed sluggish. But then it's starting gaining altitude just above my head on its own. I wasn't doing anything. The controls, I wasn't messing with the controls or nothing. And I thought, well, what in the world's going on? And I tried to get it back down, and then before it would respond, it hit some branches, and that's what happened. But I guess the moral of the story is don't fly it in and around branches and stuff, because it has no object detection, sides or front. It does have bottom, but Didn't do me any good in this instance. So we're going to try to get, I'm going to replace them 2 blades. I don't know if I haven't got enough to replace all 4. I mean all 8. I've got enough to replace those 2, but those 6 look great. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but those 6 did not look great. There was 2 of them that I had to replace, so it was a pretty damaging crash for the props. And we'll get back again and see if I'm a good surgeon. Okay, I've got this little section glued right there, the battery door, but it's not glued to the hinges. It's just the little piece that was broke off. I glued that back on, and I put some Gorilla Glue around the crack and letting it dry. And I still got to figure out what I'm going to do with the battery door to keep it more secure while it's in flight. But other than that, we shall see. So it appears that this little test flight, after I glued the front piece on, I just kind of left the battery door off while I was flying, because I knew I'd only be just a real short test flight here, so just wanted to see how it did here. It's cold out. You can see some snow on the ground there, and there's really no wind to speak of. And I was keeping it low, real low. I didn't want to go up at all, but I did go up here, go up just a little bit, gain some altitude here in a minute. But I kept my eye on it, and I didn't get up hardly above the trees there in the backyard, but that's coming up here in a minute. Seems to be just going really good. I mean, I can't really see anything right now that it's going up in altitude here, and it's looking good as far as I can tell anyway. Just kind of going around here, just watching the drone as I'm pushing the control sticks. It's sluggish, but I thought, you know, it was getting over some trauma it went through. That's why I was flying. But I mean, the footage looks smooth here. Coming back up to the porch, and I'm just going to bring it on in and land it. So a new fresh report coming up soon. So y'all stay tuned.